So, did you do any research or consultations for the themes in your book, or did you decide you knew it well and you could just
throw it out there?
Throw it out.
Having not gone to boarding school myself, having gone to a Texas state school, I had to do a bit of research into boarding school. My sister-in-law went to, I knew loads of people who went to boarding school. What is even going on? It turned out. And so I could follow them around going, wait, tell me again about prefects.
Prefects. Yeah.
Tell me again about we're a dormitory, what do you call it where you sleep in Britain? And as I live in Surrey, in the countryside, I'm absolutely surrounded by boarding schools. There's a school near me called Frensham Heights, which looks a lot like I described my school. And and so I could go on, sort of recce's and kind of get permission to kind of walk around it and get ideas.
Permission is the
it's the alternative to arrest.
Walking around the school.
Yeah. No, precisely. And I do occasionally, without permission, if I pass a really promising looking gate. Sometimes you'll see it'll be St. Cuthbert's School for Amazingly Wealthy Children, and you'll be someplace really random, like Oxfordshire. I've passed a couple of gates. The gates are just too gorgeous, and I'm like, but I'll just go, hold on, we're going in. I just have to look at it. And I'll be like, oh Jesus, and we'll drive in so I can see the school and just get ideas of the layout. Okay, that's there. But I'm seeing a lot at boarding schools that I hadn't seen when I first started writing, so it's too late now. It's horses. They'll have horse pastures so the kids can ride. If only
didn't
I
have that
this.
at my school.
No, so mine. Basketball courts, yes.
Yeah.
So these are things where I get, I make sure, do boarding school grounds have forested areas? Are they really this big? And they are. They're parks. These are great houses, and they have these acres and acres and acres of forests and streams and ponds, and I ask friends who went to boarding school, skinny dipping. You did it, didn't you? Didn't you? You know you did. And then
that's the thing I'm looking forward to, the skinny dipping scene.
It's in book
I knew it.
It's in book 1. Oh yes.
That's scene
they do it. It's not out of the realm. So I did do that kind of research, but only that much. The rest is imagination.
You can do it again, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just read that in every fortnight.
More skinny dipping.
It's and after skinny dipping.
The violence occurred.
Yeah. That's the two main themes. Well, there are 3. Redemption, violence, and skinny dipping. I think that's an accurate summary. I was going to say something quite important. I forgot it. Anyway, so you're at Latitude Festival, obviously.
Yes.
At the end of this month. Why did you think it was important to get involved with Arts Awards and run your session for these young people?
Oh, I love the work that Arts Awards is doing. Anything to get kids, get their hands on it, on writing, on art, on the different elements of this whole area. I feel like young people are often guided now in a professional direction from a very young age, oh, you must be a banker or a lawyer or you must work in an office. The idea of being an artist, a writer, a musician, something creative, I think is often oh God, don't do that, you'll starve. and it worries me because I go to talk at schools all the time, and I'm often asked by very young people, so 14-year-olds, how much money do you make? How do you support yourself? And it concerns me that this propaganda about art and the arts is getting through to them, and that it makes them not even consider what I wanted to be when I was their age, what I was my dream job of writing and reading for a living. And so anything I can do to take that situation and upend it and be the voice in their ears saying, you should be a writer, you should be a filmmaker, you should get your hands on art, you would love this, it's so much more fun, who needs money?
Yeah.
Not me, I've been fine without it my whole life.
So I think that's important. And having control of what you do and the sort of course you take, I think that was one thing that drew me towards Arts Award. It was really open and what I wanted to get out of the work experience, and the end goal was designed around me.
Yeah, amazing. It's so brilliant. It's open to people with all their different talents. It encourages you to explore your talent and find out which areas you're best at, which area you can play around with to try things you might not have tried otherwise. So I'm thrilled to be part of that.
Yeah, I think that's important for like young people looking for a course. They don't want to like do something that's set, you know.
Yeah.
Like they can still get to the same place that they've been doing something that interests them and that they want to do at the end of the day.
Yes.
That's what I look for in courses now anyway.
Fantastic.
So what is your session going to be at Latitude? Actually, I read a bit about it. What are you planning to do?
There's going to be, I'm going to talk about my writing process and character building and how you get started.
I'll say it.
How you get started with a project, with a writing project, any project that's fictional. So we will play around with those different ideas, different ways that other people do it, how I do it. The audience can film me, record me, treat it like a news event where they write an article about it. They can come out of it writing their own stories, making films about it. It's going to be completely open to however they want to use this event, but I will just provide them with a safe form in which to kind of go crazy. They can draw if they want. I don't care. Just whatever, however you want to get involved. That's whatever art form you want to use. Take photos, make a collage. You know, it's going to be fun. I think.
I'm definitely going. I'm going to do everything. All of those things.
Drawing, photographing, filming.
It's going to be brilliant. So can young people like take their own work along? And like for your character building?
Absolutely. If they're already writing and they want to just come kind of play around with their characters, absolutely. That's what I kind of want that. I would love that.
Yeah.
If they already have something they're working on, that would be brilliant. Then they can ask me, there'll be Q&As, they can fire questions at me, and I will attempt to give coherent answers that can help. So if you're stuck on a project...
How often should my character skinny dip?
Exactly!
Ideally.
We may diverge on this issue.
I think that's important, actually.
They can't live in that water naked. It's cold.
Like, do they need a dog or a horse? You know, could they settle for goldfish? Those sort of ideal questions.
Indeed, critical questions.
Is there any final words for anyone, young people who are writing?
I guess the thing it's almost my mantra now, I guess, is if you want to be a writer, and I hope you do, read everything. Read obsessively, read voraciously, make it your hobby, your entertainment.
Don't be lazy about it. Actually,
your pastime. Pick up books you wouldn't normally read. Read Martin Amis. I never read Martin Amis, but I make myself read his books because I want to see, like, what's he doing? I want to branch out as well as read stuff that I find, completely escapist, which is my preferred form of literature. I also want to see what the other part is. So read everything. Read all the stuff you like, stuff you don't like. It helps you know what you want to do, what you want to write. And it can also give you tools for writing. So reading is your practice. It's your rehearsal.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Awesome. It's been fun.